In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains that the soul is eternal and separate from the body, and how the soul passes from body to body and life to life.
To understand Krishna consciousness, and to understand ourselves, to understand spiritual knowledge, it all starts from the platform of understanding that this body and me are different, that I am not this body. We are the soul, we are the Atma, residing within the body, that the body is different than the self. And the Lord, on the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, explains, Dehinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir diras tatra namuyate. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So we've been going through that process for many, many lifetimes. It's not that this lifetime is the beginning of our existence. It's far from it. The quality of the soul is that he is Satchidananda. The soul is eternal, full of knowledge, and full of happiness as well. And our condition in this material world is that we're not really full of knowledge, we're not happy, and we don't consider ourselves eternal. We're constantly shocked when we think that we're going to die, perhaps. And everyone is thinking that they're going to die. But our real position is that we're not going to die. We're just simply going to be changed into another body as we have done to this body. The soul is known as the Jivatma, or the Atma. And my name that I received from Srila Prabhupada is Atma Atma, or soul of the soul. And soul of the soul, it is a name for God within the heart. Here there's a purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, which I'd like to read a little of. Since every living entity is an individual soul, each is changing his body every moment, manifesting sometimes as a child, sometimes as a youth, and sometimes as an old man. Yet the same spirit soul is there and does not undergo any change. This individual soul finally changes the body at death and transmigrates to another body, and since it is sure to have another body in the next birth, either material or spiritual, there was no cause for lamentation by Arjuna on account of death. So the soul is passing in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, and then the soul is passing into another body at the time of death. Now ideally we don't pass into another body at the time of death, we actually go back to the spiritual world where we've originally come from. But according to our desires, we're continually accepting bodies again and again within the material world. So according to our desires, we get a body that's more suitable for the way we want to act. If we want to eat like a pig, then get a pig body that is much more appropriate. But actually, that's a spirit soul, non-different than ourselves in quality. So that conditioning is what's going on in the material world.
So Lord Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita how each living entity is a soul, and each soul should be viewed as equal and with equal value.
The Lord explains that one sees with equal vision the dog, ourselves, a tree. All of the various different living entities are seen as the same because all of them have a spiritual soul, and the soul on the spiritual platform is equal one to the other. But they are all individual. Every single one of us is different.
What I liked about it was it moved away from the linear perspective of life where man or a woman, if you want, is the most dominant force in the universe, if you want to call it that. and we have this linear view that we are born and then we die again. And what Krishna Consciousness does is actually get away from that, and so it gives equal opportunity to everything that is living in this earth, as well as getting away from that linear viewpoint. And so that idea of karma is very important in reincarnation. I think it's very important.
Wherever you see life, there is a soul, but the external body, that is different. And a consciousness, therefore, according to that body, is different. Now, a tree, the consciousness of a tree is much, much less than human consciousness. And the definition of human means one who can understand their relationship with God. So human life is meant for understanding our relationship with God. It's not meant for anything else. It's not meant for building big buildings, for having unlimited sex, for so many activities that we're performing. It's actually only meant for God realization. It's an opportunity where we can reawaken our lost relationship and go back to our original consciousness, where we then will be Satchidananda. We will be actually happy. There's 3 levels of God realization. The first level of God realization is something like that, is Brahman realization. It is to see God everywhere, to see everything as a oneness. Beyond that understanding is Paramatma realization. This is the understanding of God within the heart. And God within the heart of everyone, not just within our own hearts, but He is within the heart of everyone. These 2 levels of God realization are possible for anyone if we take the time and look. Even someone very demoniac can come to an understanding of the supersoul, Paramatma, within the heart. That can be understood by anyone. But beyond that, one cannot see God. He does not reveal Himself to anyone except His devotees. So that realization, that is Bhagavan. Bhagavan means one who is full of all 6 opulences. There's 3 primary deities within the material world. There's Lord Brahma, the creator. There's Lord Vishnu, the maintainer. And there's Lord Shiva, the destroyer. And they represent the 3 modes of material energy: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Sattva gun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. Now, these 3 energies, you can see them in the sense of 3 primary colors. You take the 3 primary colors, which is red, blue, and is it yellow? And you mix those colors together, and you get so many other different colors. The yellow would be representative of the mode of goodness. Red would be the mode of passion, and blue would be the mode of ignorance. Now, everything is subjected to these modes of material energy. It's not that we can step outside of them. Within the material world, they are prevalent everywhere, to greater or lesser extent. Everyone's body has the influence of those energies. Someone who is more in the mode of ignorance, tama, they may be attracted to, for instance, eating food which is more putrid, rotting, like that is his mode of ignorance. Someone who likes quite spicy things, they may be more in the mode of passion. And someone who prefers food which is in the mode of goodness, such as honey and grains and fruits, they may be more attracted in that way. But we are all a mixture of these different modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And they are causing us to act in those ways.
In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains the modes of material energy and how they are affecting every living entity. How no one and nothing can escape these modes, and so must do their best to regulate the effect of each mode upon their lives.
It is a place where we congregate, we talk about our spiritual life, our progress.
Devotees of Lord Krishna, particularly at Bhaktivedanta Manor, practice as much as possible life within the mode of goodness. They prepare healthy food based on a vegetarian diet that is shared with all visitors to the temple. There is a strong sense of community and generosity at Bhaktivedanta Manor, as devotees help each other to follow the guidelines set out for them by Lord Krishna. Each person is equal to one another, and differences based on class, race or gender become void.
What do you think of Krishna? Huh?
God. He's a great personality. He's God.
Oh.
He's everywhere.
Is he here?
Yeah.
Is he there?
Yes.
Is he there?
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram.
Hare Ram.
Hare Ram.
Hare
Ram Ram.
Ram.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki.
Jai.